Hi everyone, welcome to Esri's headquarters in Redlands, California, and to our latest product launch event. I'm Laura Krennick with our developer outreach team, and we're so glad you could join us virtually, along with thousands of developers and CTOs from leading organizations around the world. We have an exciting lineup of presentations for you today, so to get started, let's go upstairs and hear from Esri President Jack Dangerman.
Hi, my name is Jack Dangerman, and I want to welcome you to this very special day at Esri. Today we're announcing and launching a new product. This product is for location services and for developers to be able to build really great applications on the ArcGIS platform. The ArcGIS Platform is the name of a new Paas service that Esri is releasing today. This has many rich content services and rich capabilities in mapping and analysis that are being made available as consumption services for the developer community that opens up the REST services of our other technologies to the developer world. Now, Esri has been known for a long time as being the leader in GIS and geospatial technologies of many types. We have rich client technology and rich server technology, and also a rich SaaS offering that is now being used by over 10 million individuals around the world. But this day, today, we're opening up the technology so that the developer community can have access from open source libraries of all types to the core REST services that the ArcGIS is known for. We'll also hear from a wide spectrum of different developers who are helping us launch this product that have been early innovators. They range from enterprise software companies like Salesforce to a small startup like Aerospace Link, who are developing tech and building applications that are going to make their own businesses richer and forward the basic idea of bringing geography and mapping into their applications. We're excited. We're hopeful that this kind of opening up will allow partners around the world to build distinguished applications like, for example, is happening with Johns Hopkins University or thousands of other organizations like them, bringing the value of geospatial and geography and mapping to the entire universe of organizations around the world. So thank you.
Hi, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. I'm David Cardella, Product Manager for ArcGIS Platform. Developers like you realize the value that meaningful maps can bring to your solution. We all want best-of-breed location services and capabilities that can be easily integrated into our apps. And using open source mapping libraries is important to some of us because it gives us the flexibility and the control we need during the development process. Also, we want a transparent and easy to understand business model that won't be a barrier to our work. But above all else, we strive to build engaging and meaningful solutions and apps that inspire action. Today, we are excited to share with you how Esri's location services and ArcGIS Platform are enabling a community of developers to use maps and location to build solutions that are powering the world. These live interactive apps are engaging, dynamic, and purposeful. They are creating deeper understanding for consumers, citizens, and organizations. These apps bring together stunning and valuable visualizations that uncover patterns and relationships. They leverage beautiful cartographic maps and powerful analytical capabilities, enabling data-driven decision-making. But most importantly, they are delivering innovative experiences. So today, for the first time, we want to introduce you to the new ArcGIS Platform, a location platform as a service or PaaS product designed to bring you powerful mapping and location capabilities to the global developer community. ArcGIS Platform is made up of 3 high-level elements: an excellent developer experience to help you be successful by giving you access to our APIs, but also a set of open source mapping libraries. A comprehensive set of industry-leading location services that include a wide variety of content and capabilities. And a simple, transparent business model with a generous free tier that's consumption-based, so you only pay for what you use. And all of these come together to form an intuitive experience for accessing and using ArcGIS Platform. Let's take a look at each of these elements in a bit more detail. ArcGIS Platform provides a premium developer experience, and you can use the API of your choice. The platform comes with a robust JavaScript API and a set of APIs for mobile and desktop development. You can also bring your own API. This means you can leverage the investment you've already made in your solution by using the client of your choice. And we support popular open source libraries, including Leaflet, OpenLayers, and Mapbox GLJS. ArcGIS Platform supports industry standard authentication through the use of API keys. And on the developer's site, you'll find a wide variety of resources and tooling to help you be successful, including a developer guide describing some of the development patterns, extensive SDK documentation, and over 100 tutorials with a live sandbox that you can code against and see your changes instantly. You can get started in 30 seconds by creating a free developer account on the developer's website. This developer experience we'll get a great look at throughout the day. Now, let's discuss the next element of ArcGIS Platform, and that's the collection of location services. They're available on demand, allowing you to leverage extensive content and powerful capabilities in your solutions. Everything from providing basemaps to data hosting and data visualization to some of the more common capabilities like searching and routing. And you can go even further with additional content and spatial analytics. Let's spend a few minutes looking at each one of these services. First is Basemaps, a set of ready-to-use authoritative maps that can be used in the API of your choice in just a couple of lines of code. This includes dozens of pre-styled basemaps designed by our team of professional cartographers. Everything from neutral background maps to rich foreground maps, maps that emphasize human geography like streets or physical geography like topography. There are maps blended with elevation that give you an additional dimension of information. And if you want something completely different, you can use our style editor and design a custom style that best suits your needs. Today, Esri's location services deliver billions of basemap views around the world on a daily basis. But it's not just about our data. You can also host your data in ArcGIS Platform. Hosting your data is not simply storing a flat file in the cloud, although ArcGIS Platform can do that too. This is much more. You create a service based on your data so you can visualize, edit, and analyze your authoritative content. When you host your content, that could be spreadsheets, shapefiles, or text files, in ArcGIS Platform, it's secure, it's scalable, and it's performant, and it's supported seamlessly in the API of your choice, and can be accessed as features, vector and image tiles, as well as GeoJSON. And your data remains your data. We don't ask you to give up ownership, and we don't collect telemetry from your users. Now, once you're ready with hosting your data in ArcGIS Platform, typically the next step is data visualization. Being able to visualize your data in unique ways is one of the strengths of ArcGIS Platform. We give you the tools to make beautiful maps and discover patterns and relationships. With maps and location, you can visualize complicated problems, and you can see answers to then drive action. Developers have the capabilities and tools to take data and quickly render features with an endless list of options and visualizations. You can also visualize your data in its 2D or 3D context with 3D models of buildings, landscapes, cities, or even the entire globe. And through a technique called smart mapping, you can take the guesswork out of setting your map properties by automatically analyzing your data to make data-driven styling suggestions and create smart defaults. Smart mapping applies to both 2D and 3D data and can be implemented in just a few lines of code. The ability to find addresses and points of interest is common in most mapping applications. Our geocoding service is powered by industry-leading reference data that comes from multiple authoritative sources like commercial data providers, government agencies, and our network of partners around the world, which ensures that you get the most accurate search results. The service also supports local languages and address formats. The next location service is routing, which has the ability to perform routing and get turn-by-turn directions, which helps increase the overall efficiency of daily workflows. In addition to common point-to-point routing, you can route multiple vehicles to multiple destinations. Like the geocoding service, the routing service has global coverage and localized directions. The route solver also takes into consideration current traffic conditions and dozens of other restriction types, including U-turns, barriers, time windows, and order of stops. You can also calculate drive time areas, find closest facilities, and generate origin-destination matrices. Our routing services are used by many of the largest logistics companies in the world. But the platform offers more. In addition to all of the capabilities we've discussed, you have access to an extensive data library that includes demographic and statistical data such as income, spending, market segmentation, and psychographic data. You can use this data directly within your own application, or you can enrich it or join it to your data. ArcGIS Platform has many real-time live feeds like live traffic, current weather, and recent events such as flooding, wildfires, and other natural disasters. You also have access to high-res imagery from multiple data providers that give you more than just a static picture. This includes access to a historical collection of imagery where you can see change over time and perform analysis. This living, breathing data is often referred to as the living atlas of the world. As a world leader in spatial technology, we also provide you with hundreds of spatial analytics tools and operators that help you create understanding of your data, from geometric processing to attribute and spatial queries, and support for interactive and analytical operations both on 2D and 3D data. Now, you can make use of spatial analytics in two ways, really. First, on the client side. By leveraging the power of device resources, you can build highly interactive user experiences. And secondly, we also run analytics in the server, where the tool sits right next to your data. And if you need even more analytics, you can also work with the big data, real-time analytics, advanced spatial tools, machine learning, and deep learning capabilities that are already in the ArcGIS system. And we're really excited to announce today that we'll be releasing soon support for these same analytics tools running directly on data stored in cloud data warehouses, such as Google's Big Data Query, Amazon's Redshift, and Microsoft's Cosmos DB. So big data analytics already exists in ArcGIS today, and soon we'll be bringing those same tools to the cloud data warehouse of your choice. So we've taken quite the tour of the powerful location services that the platform has to offer. These services can be used in many deployment patterns, including on the web, mobile devices, or desktops, and even system-to-system integration. So that means the Basemaps, powerful data visualizations, routing, geocoding, and the spatial analytics tools can all be used online and offline, indoors and outdoors. The third element of the platform that we'd like to talk to you today about, and quite possibly the best for many of you, is the business model. Getting access to the platform is as easy as signing up for a free developer account on the developer's website. In addition to the excellent developer experience and the extensive set of location services, you'll receive a generous free tier to kickstart your development. This includes 2 million map tiles a month and thousands of other service requests that you can use against searching, geocoding, and hosting your data. You'll find our consumption-based business model transparent and easy to understand, and you'll only pay for what you use. Okay, we've covered a lot of aspects of ArcGIS Platform. Now let's shift gears a little bit and hear from one of our early adopters, and quite frankly, an amazing organization that's been developing with our location services and ArcGIS Platform. So it's my pleasure to introduce the VP of Products for Salesforce Maps, Ben Brantley.
Hey everyone, special thanks to Jack, David, and the entire Esri team for having me here today. My name is Ben Brantley, and I was the co-founder of Map Anything, a field sales productivity tool built on the Salesforce platform, acquired back in 2019. Now at Salesforce, I run everything related to field sales and field sales planning. 2020 will be a year that will be permanently etched into our memory. So many things change, but one thing that remained constant is that a map serves as a canvas for disseminating and relating ideas. A wonderful storytelling mechanism that allows us to layer multiple different data sets together and everyone can instantly understand. And that's why I'm so passionate about mapping, GIS, and what I do. So shortly after the acquisition, I wanted to do a technology refresh, as we all know we need to do from time to time. So I started search for a new vendor that could help me out. Now at Salesforce, trust is our number one value. And trust carries a lot of different meanings, so let me tell you what it means to me. A trusted vendor is someone who you can rely on to do what's right by the customer, always. A trusted application is something you feel confident you can build business practices around. So 5.9 architecture, scalable infrastructure, and just quality data outputs. So while on the search for a new vendor, I knew I had to find someone with rock solid technology and someone who shared my values for customers. Now, a lot of people got on my list, but one thing I couldn't ignore was Esri. As our world continues to move at a faster and faster pace, speed and accuracy continue to dominate how an application is measured. If your solution is too slow, can't handle the required amount of data, or just simply provide bad data, people move on fairly quickly. In fact, usually not even get an application a second chance. We see this in the consumer world quite a bit. So I knew that this new partner had to be on the forefront of technology, but not only have killer technology, but also I need to be able to implement that technology at a very rapid pace. Mapping was such a critical part of my offering, I couldn't spend months or years swapping it out. Here, Esri not only met, but exceeded my expectations. All the documentation, hands-on help, everything. We were able to get up and running in weeks, not months, not years. The next thing I want to explore was data. Now, all good business leaders know that data is basically the backbone of all decisions. Without it, we're basically in the dark. And I played the game that some of you might have, going out and seeking individual data sources, striking up deals. But I quickly understood that I was falling into this very unproductive loop trying to manage legal terms, renewals, and just quality benchmarks. And after a while, I just grew sick of it. So I went to Esri, see what they could do, and they introduced me to Living Atlas, and I was blown away. Living Atlas was amazing, still is amazing. It's a collection of contextual, authoritative data that spans the entire world. And I felt confident adding it to my solution because it had the Esri name behind it. Now, the other cool thing about Esri is they provide you basemaps. Now, basemaps might not seem like a critical part of your solution, but it is. If your underlying basemap is full of imperfections, maybe just the image isn't clear, or maybe a road is in the wrong place, people notice that. That's like picking up a beautiful piece of art, holding it up to the light, and seeing holes all through the canvas. The other thing we started to notice trends are in our customer base is that they had their own spatial data. Now this was full of a lot of different things, power line locations, manhole covers, sometimes just the best restaurant in town for recommendation. But they needed a place to put this, and I wanted to provide that for them. Here, Esri met my needs again. The platform was such an easy tool to use, so easy that you didn't need a GIS engineer kind of working the pedals to get all your data in there. You know, looking back, I evaluated a lot of different people, but I can honestly say that partnering with Esri was probably one of the best decisions I've ever made as a product and business leader. I have confidence in my solution, and my customers are thriving because of it. Thank you everyone for all the hard work you're putting into this platform. I look forward to see what's coming next.
Thanks, Ben. We all find it inspiring to see how organizations are already using our platform as a service offering. Now, for a deeper dive into what ArcGIS Platform can offer developers, I'd like to hand it over to Ewan Cameron, CTO of our developer technologies.
Thanks, David. As developers, we know how important it is to have frictionless access to the services and capabilities of ArcGIS Platform, whether it's from the business model or the developer experience. Powerful and intuitive APIs are a must. And when it comes to mapping libraries, let's face it, there's quite a few to choose from, and you all have your favorites. Whether it's the simplicity of Leaflet, the openness of open layers, or the performance and styling capabilities of GLGS. You've picked these libraries with good reason, and it's important for you to realize you don't need to make another choice when you start working with ArcGIS Platform. That's because we've engineered into the services support for all these common open source libraries. But it's not just about the client technology. It's about the onboarding and the whole developer experience. So how do you get started? It's as simple as signing up for a developer account at developers.arcgis.com. And when you sign up for your free account, you're taken straight into the developer dashboard. This gives you access to all the resources that you need to get your job done. But perhaps the most important one is access to the API keys. These keys unlock the ArcGIS platform and its services to you and the developer. What I'd like to do now is pass over to Anita Kemp, and she's going to give us a quick tour of working with these resources.
Thank you, Ewan. Hi, my name is Anita, and I'm part of the developer experience team at the R&D Center in Portland. As a developer, I want to show you how easy it is to build an application using the ArcGIS platform. This application shows the location of emergency snow parking lots in the Boston area. It will give me directions from an address that I enter to the closest one available. In the time I have, I want to show you how I built this application. It uses the open source library Leaflet with the Esri Leaflet plugin. Esri Leaflet is a lightweight set of JavaScript tools used for accessing ArcGIS location services. To my left, I have some HTML scaffolding and references to Leaflet and Esri Leaflet. On my right, I have the ArcGIS Platform developers website. The first most important step before creating this application is to set my API key. My API key will unlock the ArcGIS platform for me as a developer. To find it, I'll go to the developer dashboard. My developer dashboard is the central location for me on the developer website. It has useful resources such as the main developer guide, as well as more specific documentation tailored to my interest, in this case, Esri Leaflet. This is also where I can create and manage my API keys. Currently, I have one API key, which is scoped to access Basemaps, Geocoding, and routing services. Once I set my API key and paste it into my application, I'm ready to begin. First, I need to display a map. To learn how, I'll go to Leaflet's documentation. The documentation has a comprehensive set of tutorials and code examples that I can use. In the introduction page itself, I have all the code that's needed to quickly display a map with a navigation base map. I'll use this code and paste it into mine. While there are many different base map enumerations available, I like using the navigation base map for my geocoding and routing applications. However, I do need to update my center so that my map centers on Boston as compared to another place. Once that is set, I will also update the zoom level. When I run my application, I'll have a map of Boston with a navigation base map. Next, I need to add the locations of my parking lots to my map. To do that, I will access them as features from a hosted feature layer. To find my layers URL, I'll go back to my developer's dashboard. This is where I can also find other layers and applications that I might have. You can create a hosted service by importing data in supported formats such as CSV, GeoJSON, or shapefile. Once that service is created, you can access the data as vector tiles, GeoJSON, or in my case, features. Once I set my layers URL and add it to the map, I will have the locations of this emergency snow parking lots. Next, I need to access the geocoding service. I'll go back to Leaflet's documentation. I can use this code example here that accesses the geocoding service by using the geocoder module. Once I copy this and insert it into my code, I need to make two key adjustments. First, I don't want to automatically be zoomed into the address that I enter. Second, because the geocoder works globally, I want to make sure that the auto-suggest will provide me with candidates within Boston as compared to somewhere else. So I'll update this nearby parameter with the coordinates that I had set earlier here. When I run my application and start entering an address, I'll get candidates suggested to me in Boston. Finally, to save some time, I'm going to copy and paste this last bit of code. The first bit of code will place a red marker on the location of the address that I provided. The second part of this code accesses the routing service's closest facility capabilities, so that when I refresh my page and run the application, I will be directed from that address to the closest parking lot. In the last 5 minutes, I built a meaningful application using Esri Leaflet and the ArcGIS platform. On behalf of myself and of all of my colleagues at the Portland R&D Center, we can't wait to see what you build. Back to you, Ewan.
Thanks, Anita. Great demo. Not just of the capabilities of the platform, but the resources available to developers as they get started. Now, in addition to the common open source libraries and APIs, ArcGIS Platform comes with its own set of rich, fully featured APIs. They support you building applications for the web, mobile, and desktop. From advanced visualizations and analytics, through to support for offline and indoors, these APIs have it all. To give us a glimpse into some of these capabilities, I'd like to pass to Max Payson.
Thanks, Ewan. Hi, everyone. I'm Max Payson, a solution engineer in business development, where I collaborate with emerging tech companies. Today, I'm going to show you some of the exciting capabilities within ArcGIS Platform. Let's start with one of my personal favorites, advanced data visualization. Here's an app that displays 150 of the most visited stores in the LA area. This app is built with our ArcGIS JavaScript API and uses anonymized data from our partner SafeGraph to show how many people go to each store, as well as the census blocks where those visitors are coming from. Using data-driven styling and client-side effects powered by WebGL, we can interactively explore these patterns. As I move my mouse, irrelevant areas fade, and new data is drawn to show where visitors are coming from to the highlighted store. This is a compelling technique, so let's take it a step further. I join this data with Esri demographic data using the enrichment service. The map now shows visitor counts as well as representative incomes using our dot density renderer. This is just one of many flexible options to help you symbolize your data. Again, as I move my mouse, the API dynamically updates the map. It also queries the underlying data to create that chart on the left and reveal visitor profiles to the individual stores. This level of fast, interactive visualization can help you create new experiences for your users. Next, let's see how to combine a few more location services and help users explore nearby data. Here's a map that displays recent restaurant inspections. This data is hosted in ArcGIS Platform, and as Anita mentioned earlier, it can be consumed as raster tiles, vector tiles, as well as feature services. It's also backed by a database that you can query, including by geography. So let's define a nearby area by first selecting a location. This location is added to the map, and its coordinates are passed back to the Geocoding service, which converts them into an address, so we know that we're looking at 421 Broadway. Next, let's add a radius around this location. As the area gets defined, it's used to query those underlying records. So, within 1 mile of 421 Broadway, we know there have been 125 recent restaurant inspections. We can also define this nearby area using the routing service and travel times. The map now shows the region that's within 15 minutes walking distance of our location. Again, we can use this area to query the restaurant records. The routing service supports multiple of these types of travel modes, including walking, driving by car, and driving by truck. It also supports advanced parameters, like no U-turns, height and weight restrictions, and even dynamic barriers. This nearby app is just one example of how you can apply ArcGIS Platform services, and there's a depth of capability for you to explore. Each service also has its own REST API, so you can integrate it into your business systems as well as user-facing applications. Now, so far, the maps Anita and I have shown have been in 2D, but ArcGIS Platform also has rich 3D capabilities. Here's an app to explore a recent hike in Switzerland. Let's zoom in from the globe to check it out. This 3D scene is fully interactive, so we can explore the mountains and their topographies. This is also backed by a world elevation service that provides authoritative reference data to complement the imagery and other base maps. This service can also be queried, so we can create an elevation profile and assess the difficulty of the hike. Let's use this service to create a new elevation profile, tracing along this prominent ridgeline. These 3D scenes are a lot of fun to explore, and they can offer new perspectives as well as additional context for your users. Thank you, and back to you, Ewan.
Thanks, Max. These were great demos, but they really only scratch the surface of what's possible with the ArcGIS platform, whether you're building applications for the web, mobile, or desktop environments. Now, many of you may already have an application built using mapping and location services. And perhaps for business or functionality reasons, you're thinking, how easy is it for me to pivot my application on top of the services coming from ArcGIS Platform? To answer that question, I'm going to hand it straight back to Max.
Thanks, Ewan. Mapbox GLJS is a great open source mapping library, and it may be your preferred option. Let's see how easy it is to start using ArcGIS Platform services through this API. Here's an app that uses GLJS and default services to show a precipitation forecast over the continental US. Currently, this precipitation data is a bit washed out by the Basemap style. So, let's switch to a style from ArcGIS Platform and improve the user experience. In the application source code, we can delete the existing access token as well as the existing style. Next, I'll add in an API key to the ArcGIS platform, just like Anita did earlier. I'll also add a basemap enumeration to reference the style that I'd like to use. And finally, I'll add in the style URL using a code snippet. Saving and refreshing the screen, we now see the app displays this topographic style. The mountains add really nice context to the storm, and zooming in, we see additional detail around the Grand Canyon. Now this is just one of 25 ready-to-use styles, so let's try a couple more. In the developer documentation, these styles are listed out and categorized by streets and navigation, imagery and topography, OpenStreetMap, as well as additional creative styles. Let's try the imagery. Going back to the source code and updating the enumeration, then refreshing the app, we see that this precipitation data plays out really nicely over the satellite imagery. Let's try a couple more. There's OSM standard relief, which builds on the popular OpenStreetMap cartography to add terrain data. We see this terrain very clearly zooming in towards Denver and looking at the edge of the storm. There's also a more creative style, ArcGIS Colored Pencil. This one's more fun and may appeal to a younger audience. There's also one of my personal favorites, ArcGIS Nova. Here, it provides a nice dark blue backdrop to highlight the precipitation data. All of these styles offer unique cartography that you can incorporate into your applications. They're also backed by the same authoritative global content, as we see in more detail here, moving in towards the streets of Toronto. So, in just a few lines of code, we are able to update an existing application with ArcGIS Platform services and improve the user experience. Thank you, and back to you, Ewan.
Thanks, Max. Wow, that was pretty straightforward. All I need to do is to get an API key, choose an ArcGIS style, and go. It doesn't get much simpler than that. Now let's hear from a successful startup, Aerospace Link, and how they're using ArcGIS Platform to power their innovative drone operations solution. Michael, over to you.
Hello, my name is Michael Helander. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Aerospace Link. And we build drone highways. And we do that by providing digital infrastructure for recreational and advanced drone operations. Our Air Hub for Pilot software is an FAA-approved, low-altitude, ground and air digital safety system with drone authorization and notification capabilities. Now that's a mouthful. So we're currently integrated into 726 airports with thousands of pilots and hundreds of businesses leveraging our system. Today, our solutions are supporting simple flights to advanced public safety drone operations in Ontario, California, COVID test kit deliveries in Syracuse, New York, highway road inspections in North Dakota, and supply chain parts delivery in Dearborn, Michigan. Some really exciting use cases are starting to happen here in the US. To build these solutions to stand up to the rigorous FAA, government and commercial industry security standards and requirements, we needed to start with high quality, trusted data with global support at a price that could allow our business to move quickly and affordably. Our co-founder and VP of Engineering, Danny Bradshaw, made the recommendations to go with the ArcGIS platform based on this criteria, plus the breadth of data and spatial analytics tools that we can leverage in the future. We have now built a world-class solution with the ArcGIS platform supporting our base capabilities. So let's take a look at how the ArcGIS platform supports our users with a simple and a complex drone flight operation. All right, I'm gonna demo a simple recreational pilot. I just wanna fly where I'm standing. And you can see right away that it's launched into my location, and I'm using the Basemaps provided by Esri to get a better understanding of where I'm flying, what are some of the obstacles, but I'm easily able to integrate other data sources, our FAA data exchange integration, our integration with the 911 systems with the local governments, and our enriched data with the hazards that you're about to fly over. So from here, I'm gonna go and do a more advanced operation. You can see I'm using the geocoding services provided through the ArcGIS platform. Now in this operation, I'm gonna fly under Part 107. I'm gonna set it out a couple days. I'm gonna set my flight height to 300 feet. And in this case, I wanted to use the advanced operations. I wanted to figure out what is the safest path for a drone to fly with the least amount of people and hazards through this community. So it's going to run a algorithm figuring out population density, utilities, critical facilities, advisories on the ground, and the FAA rules and regulations. And what it's doing is it just processed all the rules. It's throwing up the warnings that you're about to violate certain flight heights because you can only fly at 200 feet. It's also giving me some local government information that there's a 911 incident in progress that I'm routing around. And now what I'm going to do is run flight insights, and that is starting to take into account demographic data and the number of people that you're flying over to create a safety case for the FAA. So from here, I'm going to submit my flight path operation to the FAA and the air traffic control tower, and I've now gotten authorization, and we can take a look at that authorization. So now DTW knows I'm going to fly at 200 feet for an hour, and they have my contact information and can contact me if there's a problem. Now that our engineers are not burdened with maintaining these standard services, our developers and data scientists are able to focus on solving the hard problems of scaling advanced unmanned drone operations into our national airspace. Needless to say, the ArcGIS Platform services, rich documentation, smart mapping, and analytics is a game changer for Aerospace Link, as our nation establishes a new low-altitude infrastructure for the future. Thank you.
Thanks, Michael. What a great example of an application built on top of ArcGIS Platform. Now I'd like to look at ArcGIS Platform's REST API. This API underpins everything that we've shown you here this morning. All of the capabilities of the platform are available to you as a set of REST services to consume inside your applications, whether you're building these apps, or perhaps you're building services, or doing business system to business systems integrations. Next, we have a surprise guest from London, Irfan Khan, who is the President of Technology and Platforms at SAP. Now, SAP and Esri have a strategic partnership for quite some time, but we're about to enter into our next phase, taking ArcGIS Platform and its services and embedding them directly into the business technology platform that SAP is working on and making it available to their ecosystem of developers. To learn more about this, please welcome Irfan, all the way from London. Irfan, hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Nice to be here today.
Great. Can you tell me a little bit and share with the audience here the work that SAP are doing with ArcGIS Platform and its services?
Absolutely. Firstly, pleasure to be here today. Business technology platform, as you've described from SAP, is a real big investment that we're making on collating a lot of services, technical services, technology services around database, data management, and analytics. And one of the other key components that we have within that is our platform as a service, which is exactly where the ArcGIS platform is going to be fitting in. We're going to be exposing a set of extension and integration services, and those services will then can be consumed both by internal SAP for the developer productivity that they desire, but also equally so for the enhancement of SAP customer applications and the ecosystem in general as well. So BTP is a very substantial investment, and we couldn't be happier to have the ArcGIS platform featuring within that.
That's fantastic. And I think the thing that's exciting to me is it's not just taking the services that we offer and embedding them in and making them available to your own internal developers to build out their solutions. It's actually exposing that to all the developers within your ecosystem as a whole. As we build out our cloud strategies with your technology platform and ours, it's obviously embracing the cloud and these patterns. How do you think this is going to impact developers as a whole moving forward?
It's a great question. I mean, we've taken a look at the developer productivity of the SAP internal developer and, of course, the external developers that are out there. And what's pretty clear with the very substantial cloud-first approach that we're taking and the likelihood of those applications needing to be much, much more agile, it's almost necessary requirement right now that the services that we provide are available in such a way that they can provide a lot more flexibility than perhaps in the past. Now, if you look at it from an SAP Esri perspective, I mean, we have, of course, the geodatabase. We have the ability for whether it's an Esri customer coming in from the ArcGIS platform on the enterprise side, or whether it's going to be, of course, now even on the historical side. We want every single developer to have ultimate level of flexibility. So where we are right now is we're trying to make sure that whether it's an extension scope, an integration value that they're looking for, business content, we want the ability for those developers to really have a much faster time to market and ultimately a faster time to value for both the customers and of course the internal organization as well.
That's great. And I think we both agree services first strategy is the future for developers. It's the most flexible and it does get you your solutions to market as quickly as possible. Irfan, thank you very much for joining us today, and I'll let you get back to work. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So we've heard from Salesforce and how they're bringing maps into their apps. We've heard from Aerospace Link and how they're using not just mapping, but some of the demographic and other spatial services coming from ArcGIS Platform. And just then, we heard from SAP and how they're integrating their next generation technology platform with ours. These are just some of the many customers who are already building on top of ArcGIS Platform. From the whole development team at Esri, I want to thank you for joining us this morning and have a great day.
Wow, it's been an inspiring and informative event, and we hope you enjoyed learning about ArcGIS Platform. This is our new platform as a service designed for all developers. Today, you saw how early adopters are enhancing their products using location services and open mapping APIs. You also saw how location services enables you to quickly transform your product and get to market fast. Lastly, you witnessed how simple it is to add location services into your product. So, if you liked what you saw, it's easy to get started. Check out our website and sign up for a free developer account today. We can't wait to see what you create. Thank you for joining us and have a great day.